This is a Harper Guys production.
The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
You know, but good luck arguing that in court. Let me get down to brass tacks.
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
Jack, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks here.
Are you hating on Neil Diamond?
Holy fuck! Fuck Neil Diamond!
Our dream of deathmatch is going to come to fruition, and my golden ticket is going to pay off. Hoo-ah! Don't you fucking hoo-ah me, motherfucker!
I want the ability to time travel.
This is stupid. Welcome to the Harper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake. With me, always my co-host, Adam.
That's right.
We are coming to you from quarantine. So tonight, I am Captain No Fun. It's going to be joining the show for the ride tonight. We're going to get Adam started off with our PSA to get started. Oh, here we go.
I got to do this properly. I don't even know. Is the blue side out or the white side out?
I don't know. I haven't gotten one of those yet.
I'll try it. No, who am I kidding? Come on, we're not doing this
Come
shit.
on. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I do have to save that for work, though, because it will be required next week if I do go in.
Really?
The mask. Here we go.
All right.
By the way, before we even get into the PSA, thank you for joining us in Quarantineville. God, I hope it's almost over. But anyways.
Something to take your mind off of for a little bit. Crack a beer, lean back, enjoy the ride.
Laugh a little bit.
Agree,
Get
disagree.
pissed off a little bit.
Fuck it.
Let us know what you think a little bit.
That's right.
All right, episode 68. Visit us at theharperguys.com. There you can follow and share. Also, visit us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. If you're watching right now on YouTube, subscribe, comment, and if you comment, you can become part of the
show.
Woohoo!
I'm like 3 for 3 now. I got this shit down.
And thank you to Ethan Meeksel for the demilitarized zone in its entirety to finish out the show.
Exciting. It's nice to be back in the bunker.
It's great. I can't believe 2 weeks has flown by, but working at home goes like pew.
Fucking Groundhog Day, man.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day.
There's a few different problems that get mixed in, but every single day it's the same process now. I feel like I'm retired but still working is what this feels like right now. I don't even understand it.
All right. So actually, I was going to save this for the fourth topic, but let's just roll into it.
Jump in.
So what are you missing or not missing the most from Quarantineville?
So there's really only 3 things I'm missing, and 2 of them are really, really easy.
Okay.
My parents, they're from the older generation to where I don't get to see them as much, to where it's an easy thing. I haven't seen my parents in about a month, which is about as long as I think I've ever gone as an adult without seeing my parents.
Have you done any video chatting?
My parents are they are not iPhone users. They've actually considered switching over because they want to be able to FaceTime with people. We attempted to Skype. That was a catastrophe. It didn't quite work out.
So you're trying, in other words.
Yeah, we're sending pictures and stuff back and forth, and I talk to them, and we stay in good contact, but it's just not the same as being able to sit down and have a cup of coffee with your parents and hang out for a little bit. So that's one thing I'm definitely missing.
I'll tell you one thing I'm missing.
Yeah.
I have a few wrote down, but it just jumped into my head. So because I don't have it wrote down, I am missing springtime baseball.
Yeah.
The door open, the game on, maybe not even sitting down watching, but just the noise of the fans and then the running into the room because the crowd's going crazy,
Right.
Yeah.
or even if you're listening to it, again, not a fan, but if I'm outside working and stuff and I have the ball game on, and all of a sudden Hamilton starts losing his mind. He's one of the...
He means not a fan of Hamilton.
Yeah, not a fan of Tom Hamilton. Love Hamilton the musical. Good times. No, I'm talking about Tom Hamilton. He's the play-by-play guy for the Cleveland Indians. He's just not my cup of tea. But when you're doing something out in the yard and the radio's blaring and he starts losing his mind, you kind of stop what you're doing for a second to see what old Hammy had to say.
Now I want to clarify. Jake didn't mind Hammy until about 2 years ago when he made some derogatory comments towards Bonds.
That's right. You don't shit on the goat,
Jake's
dog.
like, I love that guy. I fucking hate you, you motherfucker.
That's right. For life. Never going to be Herb Score. That goes hand in hand, though, with something else that I feel like I am part of the mass of people, at least in the United States and probably throughout the world, that are missing sports something fierce. I feel like anytime that there's been a major incident that we've gone through, right? Whether it was 9/11, when baseball came back after 9/11, those September games were crazy. Everything that went with 9/11, it kind of brought everybody together. Sports were a thing that we had to lean on. I mean, you go back and I was reading about it. There was a little thing on ESPN the other night about how post-World War II, when World War II ended, it was baseball again.
Right.
Like people were like, all the heroes were coming home that were actually serving. They were getting back into the game. Like everybody was just jacked on baseball again.
And this will probably bring a resurgence to fans when they let everybody through the turnstiles again.
Do you think?
Oh, I think so. Because right now, just like after World War II or whatever you said, that will be the one thing that will be going on a lot.
I agree, but I also disagree on this level. We live in a different era. There is so much media out there to consume. What we're doing right now, having our own podcast. Between that and people like Netflix, Hulu, they're putting out content left and right now because people are streaming like crazy. It reminds me of a scene from Fight Club, which I made a joke about earlier, about how what is going to happen in the movie. He had to move, and he goes, after 3 weeks, you don't even miss television.
Right.
I feel like there's going to be some sports fans that have found other things to do with their life, to where I believe that it's going to hurt sports more long-term than a lot of people think. I think initially it's going to be like the first week of the XFL. Everybody's going to be like, yeah, and then...
I mean, that's an opinion, but I'm going to tell you...
I hope I'm wrong, because I'm not going anywhere.
Here's what's been getting me. And this has been thrown around a lot. And people are like, excuse me, I think this is going to change everything. People are going to start... Yeah, for a little bit. And then everybody's going to get into their same old fucking routines. I think at first, yes.
Maybe.
It is going to change the way people think about, oh, maybe I shouldn't touch that stuff. Maybe when I do go talk to Jake as a neighbor, maybe I won't stand 3 feet apart. Maybe I will stand 6 feet because that's that's the safe zone. I mean, I don't know.
There are things that change in society when big things like this happen. Again, not to bring up 9/11 again, but getting through the airport 20 years later, still a pain in the ass now because of 9/11. To where it wasn't as much before.
Yeah, but to me, it's a welcomed pain in the ass.
No. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that there are things that are changing inevitably.
Just saying, if we were like,
for the good,
it was just a couple planes and 3,000 people. If it happens again, fuck it. No. I'm glad that I would much.
No.
I would much rather have to get to the airport 2 hours early every single time to make sure that somebody's not strapping a bomb on them.
I'm not arguing with you about that. I agree completely. Right. I'm just saying I think. Some things are going to change for forever, but I do think that sports...
So what do you think will change forever? Any ideas off the top of your head?
Well, like you just said that one, for instance, when it comes to social distancing, I think that's going to become a thing, with the Me Too movement, and then you lead right into this. Everybody's going to be afraid to fucking touch another human being that they're not already related to. I mean, I couldn't even imagine trying to date in this kind of environment. I mean, how does that even work?
I didn't even think about that, but that's got to be... Yeah, you're pretty much on... you're hanging up your freaking disco jacket for a while.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's going to be a lot of online dates. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work exactly. But I think I told you the other day, too, that I was listening to Dax Shepard.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how everybody expects there to be a baby boom after we're done with this.
I can see that.
Right, because what else you got to do right now?
Or
it's enough Netflix for a while, honey. Come here.
Or, yeah. Hey, you're looking pretty good there, Toots. And, well, why? Well, I'm 3 feet away from you for the whole day.
Because I see you again.
That's right. I do see you.
That's why. But to me, what he was talking about was how what we're going to see is the residual effect over the next 10 or 15 years, because there's so many people that are younger that are in the phase right now where they're meeting their significant others to get married, that this long drawn out process is actually going to create lower marriage rates, lower birth rates, those kind of things, to where I think there's going to be some real residuals that change.
Why would it? What's the angle for the lower marriage rate?
Because people aren't going to be connecting the way that they are now.
But so this is going to be like a 2 or 3 month span, and then it's going to start to fade away. There'll still be some residual effect.
No, we're in a world of paranoia these days. Paranoia that stays for forever. People 3 years from now, mark my word, 3 years from now, we're still going to be talking about this. And let's be honest, it's going to be something else coming by then.
Yeah, but just think of it, the AIDS epidemic, right?
That fucked up everything for a long time.
Yeah, but it didn't really stop people from screwing. They just used condoms. So I'm just saying.
Not at first.
I'm sure there was a long dry spell, literally. But
players weren't playing.
Yeah, but I don't think it. I don't know.
The mask. I don't think the masks are going
Let's
anywhere
just put it this way.
Anytime soon.
You and I, in our late teens, going after the ladies, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Playing the game. I mean, I wasn't worried about AIDS because I was rapping the rascal every single time. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but you weren't afraid of getting AIDS from somebody coughing on you.
True.
It's just a different thing. I'm just saying, we'll see how it plays out. That's just in my own brain, in my own logic. I think that's going to happen. It made sense to listen to him talk about it. I think it made sense.
No, I think it makes sense. But I think there will be, of course, I think after, I say it's going to last a couple years. And then I think after a while,
what about the masks? Do you think the masks are here to stay? Because you've seen pictures from China for a decade or longer where people over there, because of smog and stuff like that, they wear them all of the time. Well, I don't think these are, as much as everybody's a hypochondriac these days, I don't think that masks are going anywhere. I think that this is going to become a very normal part of society for a very, very long time.
I think it should for the people that need them. I'm not going to be wearing a mask unless it becomes a really bad thing and I have to.
I walked into the Giant Eagle the other day to do my ethical grocery shopping, nice and clean before I went, made sure that I disinfected when I got home, whole 9 yards. I almost felt like an outcast because I was one of 10 people in the whole place that didn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
And it's no, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just me being a child.
So other things I'm missing. Well, going to the JOB 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, we my little IT group to hit and Jake as well. We like to hit up the Ann's Pastry.
I've never eaten a donut in my life, so I have no idea what he's talking about.
Anyways, Ann's Pastries. This is obviously not a daily thing, but it was I'll at least say a monthly event, if not more. And boy, I definitely miss me some Ann's Pastries.
It's a weird thing. I think that we're both in the same boat to where same building, 20 plus years. I spent some time on the road, which I'm not doing clearly at all right now. But you do get used to it. I spoke to another longtime friend of ours, Griff, the other day. He texted me and he was like, it's like you learn to love the whip, it's killing him working from home because you miss the routine of going in. The people that you see on a daily basis, it also becomes a part of it. I think that people don't realize until they're working from home for a significant period of time how much they really do talk to other people and how many other people are actually in their life because of work. I mean, people that you would never talk to without work, but it's just conversations that you don't have anymore. I'm starting to feel like the solitary confinement thing, and I talk to 20 people a day.
So maybe a residual effect for people of our generation, and maybe younger and a little bit older, probably a little bit younger, will be to appreciate your job a little bit more, because working from home at some levels sucks.
It does. But at the same time, I can also see myself, because I'm now paranoid, if I get sick, especially once things are up and running again to where people are taking customer visits and stuff like that, I'm not going to be comfortable just going anywhere.
Right.
To where it's it's going to have an impact on that, to where I can see myself working from home more because I don't want to get sick at work now. And
right.
then I can't travel to go see my other customers, to where I think that in the long run, I'll work from home more even post-apocalypse than I have before.
Well, but you're also able to. But that's another thing.
They're finding how many people are actually able to, though, and that is a key.
That's what I'm getting at. And so, let's say May 1st, they'd say you guys can all come back on your regular. This is one of the things that people have been talking about. Even the people I talk to at work.
Yeah.
Maybe this is going to start changing things when we do get back to our regular routine. Do you think, like, let's just say our customer service in our home plant there?
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll put them on a rotation where a third of them will be at home and the other 2/3 will be in the office?
I can see that happening for sure. I can see that happening in most departments, to be honest.
Because I'm telling you what, the pre-press, you know how packed that place is.
Yeah, people that deal with artwork and stuff like that. There's 18 people in one big open room.
Maybe more.
I think that's right.
OSHA would not be happy.
No, it's all footed out to where I think that they did the math on it for the number of seats.
It just seems like a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
But I could see those people now that they can work at home. Definitely.
Yeah.
You need to spread it out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain efficiencies from working from home. Once you get set up to where home is at least similar to what your office environment was, then I think it's okay. So, but I agree.
But do you think that's going to be a thing?
Do I think what's going to be a thing?
Like where
Yes.
it's going to change?
Look, I'm not trying to plant a seed, and I don't think any of our bosses actually listen to the show. If so, please don't take my idea and run with it. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if people like me that do travel, and it's clear I could work from home basically every single day and make a few trips a week into a building. I mean, we have people that work remote in California where we don't have a plant
we have remote
all the
salesmen,
time.
yeah.
To where I can see them taking our space away, to where they're like, "You guys aren't necessary. We've proven this. We have a model that works. See ya." And I don't want that, but I can see that happening. So.
Well, I know you've said many, many, many times to me that you are more productive when you can get into the plant and talk to people and go out and talk to the people running your shit and other things. So I get that. But I don't know if I feel like it's really going to change. I feel like this might be a 6-month residual, and then after that they're gonna be like, "Yeah, why don't you guys just all come back in? Fuck this."
I don't know. What was only time will tell. But what I'm saying is, if they can close down space in certain areas or have less people in the building on a daily basis, I think it's something they're going to try to take advantage of. I guess not try to take advantage of it in a negative way, but they're going to make sure that they utilize it. They put all this time, money, and effort into setting people up to work from home.
Right.
They're not just going to be like, "All right, throw it all back in the shit pile and come back in."
But they might, because I'll tell you what, the one thing that I've learned from working at our employee at the corp, we'll just call it the corp, is that not everybody, but a few of them like to be able to see what you're doing. And I just don't think, if they can't actually see you getting the shit done, I guess if you're getting the shit done, that's one thing.
But they can through your computer, though, right? I mean, you know this as well as anybody. You can track my movements through my computer.
I don't know. It depends. Like through OMS?
Or even through like Google. Like if I have to be logged into Google and I'm in there, like you can see what I'm doing on my computer. I know that that's the case. People have been shit canned for what they've been doing on the computer.
Sure. But I'm just saying, there's a portion of micromanaging that happens, and I just don't know if they're going to feel comfortable with that, because they can't be like, "Oh, I can't see what you're doing." But yeah, who knows?
I don't know. Maybe. I think it depends, like I said, department to department. There's going to be certain people that if a cost accountant isn't getting their work done from home, it's going to be clearly evident because they're not going to have reports in on costing, stuff like that.
But then I guess it goes back to, for me, that's how I would actually be rather viewed as an employee. Am I getting my shit done and then going above and beyond and whatever?
Agreed.
Because you can tell, because I'm either getting shit done or I'm not.
Yeah.
So
I'm a dollar figure, so as long as my numbers are up,
yeah,
I'm free and clear.
All right.
One thing to touch on with sports,
yeah,
even though we're missing them, and this is a little bit early, so you guys will hear this tomorrow, but you have to wait another week. I'm freaking pumped for UFC 249 next weekend. It's going to be the first major sporting event.
I thought they shut it down.
No. The Khabib cannot travel outside of Russia, so he's not going to fight. But they basically took and mashed a couple cards together that have been canceled, and it's going to be awesome. Next Saturday night is going to be off the chain.
No fans in the stands?
No fans in the stands, but they did the last fight with no fans in the stands, and it was still awesome as hell.
It's awesome for the viewer, but do you think it's awesome for the fighter?
You listen to
There's got to be a little bit of that crowd, yeah!
But sometimes it goes both ways. I mean, because if you watch the show, The Ultimate Fighter, they actually have a few people that get to come now to where some family members and a couple friends and stuff, but it's usually 30 people watching their fight. to where you can hear every punch, every kick, every slap, everything that happens.
Every nose break.
That's right. You can, so you hear, sometimes you hear it, you're like, oh,
Because you didn't hear it before.
you didn't hear it as crisp. But I think it's one of the sports that can really survive with it like that. Now, to watch a football game with no fans in it, I don't know how I would feel about that.
I'll tell you the one thing I'm not missing.
What?
It's all the fucking shitty drivers not on the road. Although we're
gonna be on the same page. Can't believe you know this.
I still think the 20% of bad drivers are still the ones out and about. There's still a lot of them.
Did you know that since they instituted the shutdowns nationwide, right? Everybody's supposed to be going just to and from essentials.
Supposed to be.
Do you know in that time period, and I just saw this report yesterday, accidents are down in the United States. Total automobile accidents are down by what percentage would you guess?
1.
85%.
Well, that means people are staying home.
People are staying home, but all of these areas where there's usually accidents because things are so congested, somebody gets rear-ended, you don't have any of that. So what's happening? One of the silver linings, one of the good things that come out of this is Allstate, and I believe it's Allstate and Geico have already announced what their paybacks are going to be. Basically, they're making so much money, they're like, we better pass some of this on.
Oh, because people are paying them and they're not paying it out.
Right, and now all of the other big ones, State Farm,
Just drop my
Progressive,
rate.
They're not going to just drop your rate. They're going to give you a refund and drop your rate.
You said Allstate?
Allstate's number one. First one. Allstate right now.
I got them.
Do you?
They better bring me some cash.
They're going to send you a check in the mail, and then they're going to drop your rate when your next cycle's up.
You have any idea how much the check's going to be?
I believe that
$100?
Allstate's was 5 or 7%, but then if you have like home and auto together, like bundled, then like you get, it's based on that, and they added like 1% or 2% to
Like
where it goes up a little
5
bit.
or 7% of what?
Of what your monthly premium is.
So they're going to send me like $70.
Yes. $70 that you didn't have.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I was getting excited. I thought you meant like some money.
But they're talking about this is going to end up becoming a multi-time thing as it goes on, though, too.
Oh, like month to month?
Right, because what they're
they're charging me $160, but they're sending me $50 back.
So you might not get it every month, but like every couple months they might reassess the situation, be like, all right, now we're going to pay
Why
out
would they
this.
just adjust my rate?
They're going to do that too, but in the short term, what they don't want to do is have smaller companies come in and be like, oh, here's your undercut price. Oh, here's your undercut price.
Geico.
And just start taking huge amounts away from people.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be kind of cool. I thought that was interesting.
So the last thing I'm missing is my daughter playing softball. So
Yeah, as a parent, I feel for you getting screwed out on that, man.
yeah. But like I said, they're going to miss their whole indoor season. But then right about time spring's supposed to start. Well, I guess spring has started, but spring ball has started. Hopefully they're back out on the field. So
It should be. And then next month it'll get started again and stuff.
yeah.
I know. I'm so excited. I know I've mentioned it already, but my youngest one is a senior, right?
Right.
Doesn't play a spring sport, but prom and graduation, right, have been hanging in the balance. And we got notification the other day that as of now, they're not changing the dates on either.
They're keeping them?
Yeah. So
When are the dates?
May 9th.
Oh.
May 9th is prom. And then I believe it's May 21st.
So let me tell you something I saw. Now, can't believe everything you see on the internet.
Sure.
But as I was wrapping things up today to come over here, I forget what I was doing. But anyways, it was the homepage that came up, showed President Trump, and it said, plans for a May reopening are in the works. Or it wasn't plans, but it was something to do with Congress.
Yeah.
Where they were like getting a package together for reopening in May.
Love it.
So I hope that's true.
Yes. I can't wait. There's one more thing that I don't miss, and that is the walkers. I have never seen this many people walking around my neighborhood.
You mean something you won't miss?
I will not miss this when this is over. I miss my road being our road. I'm talking every night. Hundreds and hundreds of people go up and down this road with their dogs. And I have a beagle, so you know how that goes. Every time. And then I have a little yappy dog to go with it. So she starts yapping. Oh, man. It's ridiculous. It's like a little dog choir all the time going off in our house. It never stops.
Tip. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
All right, so next topic. same ballpark. COVID cause I can't even talk tonight. I'm sorry, everybody.
COVID conspiracies.
COVID conspiracies. Is all the bad stuff? Do you think it's all real?
Do I think what's all?
Do you
real?
think it's been an overreaction?
No. Anything that kills 100,000 people and infects 1 million is for real. I mean, it isn't.
Okay.
It isn't anything that's bullshit.
I've heard some people talk about this, and I'm just listening. I'm not really like. I was like, what?
No, I think that it's one of those things to where if this had been handled like other flus that have gotten out that these numbers would have been through the roof as far as what we're dealing with because of how many people would have actually contracted it. So,
but still,
I don't think that it's overblown.
Know,
I don't think that it's over paranoid.
Do we know what
it's inconvenient, but
do you know what the death rate is at this point worldwide?
The death rate? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. The Fox,
not rate, but the number, the total.
The Fox News app has it on there every day. I think that we are just shy of 1 million cases, and we're about to hit 100,000 deaths. Total.
Is it 100,000?
Yeah.
But okay, but they said I'm still teetering on this. In the U.S., the flu kills 60,000 people a year.
Okay.
So I don't want to see what the numbers are. I hope the numbers are way below that.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think it's going to surpass that in the U.S.?
The next month is going to tell. I mean, we're getting to the point now to where I think that we're right about where the crescendo is going to be, to where we reach the high water mark as far as how many carriers are going to be. So over the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to see how many people actually die from it.
By the next time we podcast, we will have been in a 3-week span.
Okay.
From our first quarantine show to the third one.
Okay.
So there'll be 3 weeks in there. Or no, I'm sorry, 6 weeks. 2 weeks in between?
2, 2, and 2. 6.
Yeah, 6. So, I mean, you'd think that would be, by then we'll know. It should be tapering off quite a bit by then.
Tapering, though, doesn't mean that all the cases are going to be resolved. I mean, I feel this is going to be through the end of the year before we feel like we're done with it.
Oh, I'm sure. So,
do you think, let me ask you, because this is kind of the word that you use we haven't touched on yet. Do you think that there's any conspiracy to any of this?
I think that the way some of it is. I'm not saying
in what way.
I'm not saying COVID-19 is a conspiracy because it's obviously killing people. All right.
Okay.
And I don't believe that if there's a outbreak of a virus and it's actually killing people, I don't think you can conspire to do that. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like, I don't want to bring up HIV again, but it's kind of hard to realize it until maybe you know somebody that's got it. It's just kind of like blur out in the world that you hope you never have to deal with.
But when you say conspiracy, I feel like my first thought was, are you saying that
it's not real at all?
No. I'm thinking what I'm saying is, did somebody release it? Like, was this dropped onto people and put out there into the world intentionally? You know,
we're gonna get to that later.
It's being used as propaganda.
No, I think we're going to get to that later because I've got something on that.
All right.
No, what I'm talking about is I saw my wife had a video and she said, you got to watch this. So we watched this video for a little bit and it was a doctor on there. And she goes, this would be Jake if he was a doctor because he just had so much information and he was pissed off about people not being informed properly.
Agreed.
And he was going on and on and on, and we were listening to it, and he's like, as a doctor, I think he was even a chiropractic doctor, but he's like, as a doctor, I'm supposed to take care of my community. And there was zinc and another, I don't want to use the wrong word, so I'm not going to say it, but there was zinc and something else that he said people should be taking as a preventative.
Okay.
He
probably magnesium, probably.
It wasn't magnesium, but it started with a C.
Okay.
But anyways, Trump said that he was going to start taking this stuff.
Okay.
Or he might start taking it. He says, as long as my doctor approves, whatever. And this guy's like, listen, you should do this. And yes, of course, check with your doctor first because I would never suggest taking something. And he's like, when people are going to come back on me and say that this is a cure, he goes, I'm not claiming it's a cure. I'm saying it's a good preventative. He goes, I'm not even saying you could do this and you still may catch coronavirus.
Sure.
But he goes, they're not informing you properly. He goes, also, he had like 2 or 3 sheets to where certain things are happening, but the news are reporting these deaths as corona, but they're not. Like there was a small child that died at his house, and the news came out and said child died of coronavirus, and the family's like, no, it was our son, and it was an accident at the home, and he died. It was not corona related at all. It's like all these people are just grabbing. Oh, it's corona.
You mean there might be fake news out there?
Well, that's what he said.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What?
But why? There's my conspiracy. Why would a news factory or news company want to take every death and make it corona?
They will do anything they can to say, these are all the corona deaths. And then they turn around and say, it's all 45's fault. Trump didn't do enough at the beginning. That's why we're at now. That's 1, 2, 1, 2 every single time.
Okay. Because there was another story, I'll just be brief with this, where a mother was going to have, she was pregnant. We'll start there. And she was at like 22 weeks, just right after like when you find out the sex.
Yeah.
And she had coronavirus, and the stress of the virus, she lost the baby. The baby died because it was not even formed enough.
Right.
Like the doctor said, the baby wasn't done baking.
But that is a corona-related death.
But they came out and
Had
said
she not gotten
they
corona-
came out and said the baby died from corona. It's kind of true, but not really.
It's a schematic. I mean, it's a semantic. I mean, it's how you say it and how you look at it.
Right.
The baby would have been alive had the mother not contracted corona.
Probably.
Accurate? Well, it is what it is. I mean,
I guess.
However you want to chalk it up, it's sad.
So there's where my conspiracies are. Are there so many fake news companies out there
Yes.
just throwing shit at the wall
Yep.
because they can?
Yes. Absolutely. Anybody that doesn't think that's not paying attention. Have you seen the latest bullshit that they try to pull? They're trying to get from home voting for the presidential election
No,
now.
that cannot happen.
You talk about an election dying to be stolen.
I'd rather walk into my local church or wherever I'm going to vote, have them put rubber gloves on me, put them on,
Yeah.
put the mask on me. I won't even touch the shit, and let me go put pop the chads with a whatever, and put it in the machine, and go.
Or, hold on. I'm glad you're sitting down. What if, because we have, 6 months, 7 months before the election? What if we actually got our shit together and you signed up for a voting time? So everybody didn't fucking show up at one time. My voting time is from 4 to 4:30. That's what I've signed up for. Great. Not everybody, once those 62 slots are filled, bam, 4 to 4:30 is closed.
Last names A through D. Yours is at 1 o'clock. E through whatever.
Right, and if you can't do it, you get an absentee ballot. That's how it's always been. You know how servicemen that are over in Afghanistan vote in November every year? Fucking absentee ballot. I don't know why that's got to change.
No, it shouldn't.
It's ridiculous.
So, lastly, about that doctor that I watched a video on.
The doctor.
He said, now this is probably more of your fake news bullshit, but
Yeah.
he said that amazingly, heart attacks, flu, regular flu, and what was the other one? Pneumonia death rates have almost ceased because everything is corona. So you're just telling me, no shit, Sherlock. I just told you that, right?
Yeah. How do you think the spousal abuse rates are going? You think those are going up? Because everybody's strapped at home with one another.
I think probably not.
I feel like people are getting along better now than they probably have.
Because what I think is this. You're not going out in the world as much. You probably, okay, for instance, I go to the job, somebody fucking pisses me off, and then I come home and I displace, right?
Right.
Some people do that, some people don't.
A lot of people do.
I'm guilty of it. I've done it before.
Sure.
Because of that not being a factor, I think it probably helps.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you're home all day with it. You could be getting on my nerves, but I think because you are home and I think you're trying to stay safe, it probably does change the gears a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope.
I was just curious. I mean, it was
Don't beat on your lady, whoever you are.
trying to find a joke a little bit here and there. I mean, the
All right.
whole world has become so damn serious.
So let's get out of corona virus.
Yeah. UFC 249. I'm sorry. I got it.
Go for it. You've already said it, but let's hear it again.
I'm just saying. It's next Saturday. Make sure you guys tune in. ESPN has the has the prelims. ESPN Plus has the pay-per-view. It's going to be awesome as hell.
It's going to be off the hook.
Yeah. Can't have a party for it. Don't throw parties, but definitely watch it. So, okay. next.
Okay. Let's talk about home protection.
Okay.
And this isn't necessarily a harp, but my harp would be that not all of you have thought about home security like you should, and it needs to be more than just a baseball bat.
I agree with that completely. Keep preaching.
So, I would consider you way more of an expert on home security than I would be.
Yeah.
So, what in your mind, for the people that don't know, it might be like, this might be a good time to think about investing in home security because I'm home all the fucking time.
Yeah.
What would you tell them? Where would they start? Are we talking shotguns, rifles? Are we talking pistols? Are we talking both? Where would you start if you had nothing?
Shotgun. I would start with either a 3-load or a 5-load shotgun that you can put.
Pump. You mean a pump?
A pump. They make pump and they make what are called a semi-automatic shotgun, to where you pull the trigger, it ejects the shell, another one automatically goes in, to where it's like a giant 9mm. You can squeeze them right off.
Okay.
Either one of those for sure.
Right, but let's also go on the economical side. Let's say
economical.
Let's say Dad doesn't have $3,000 to spend on
You don't need
guns and
$3,000.
ammo.
You don't need it.
What would be an affordable? Any of those?
You can go and you can buy a regular, everyday, a real quality company like a Mossberg 500.
Mossberg. That's what I'm looking for. Name brands.
You can
throw them out there, Jake.
You can go buy a nice Mossberg 500 pump shotgun. $350. You can buy a box of shells that would be they'll be called like a varmint shell, but it's like a 2 3/4 inch number 6, number 7 size pellet. That's just for the size of the BBs that are packed into
start
it.
taking notes, people.
Something like that is really, really easy. With a 2 3/4 round, you're going to get some kick in your shotgun, but it's not going to be ridiculous. If you shoot down a hallway with that shotgun, you're going to hit whatever's in the hallway, and it's going to be real, real sad about what's going on.
Right. So, okay. So now we got everybody at home. They've got their shotgun.
Yeah.
And they've got their, what'd you call it, varmint shot.
Yeah.
But
buckshot works just as well.
Right. But how, I know they need to do every other for the home security with what?
Yeah.
With the slug, right?
Yeah, that's my preference.
So this is the part that you might not know about. It's not just always about going and getting the shotgun and your ammo. You need to get specific ammo. He's going to explain what this is.
Okay, so the way that I have mine set up, and this came off of a tactical guide. This isn't something I came up with on my own.
But I've also heard this from not just Jake.
So in what I keep for protection, it's every other round, to where the first round is the pellets, to where you get a spray that comes out. To where at 20 feet or 15 feet, you might have a wall clock size, that's pellets flying in that direction. The second round,
which is also a warning shot. It could kill.
It's going to scare the shit out of whatever you shoot with.
It's going to hurt, and it could kill. More than likely, it's going to maim.
Right. But what you do is the second shot that you put in behind it. So you load that first, then you push in a slug. So like we were just talking, something very easy and specific. Remington makes what's called a Remington Slugger. It's just a regular 12 gauge slug. You can hunt deer with this thing, but you put that in as your second shell. So
some of you are familiar with the shotgun, and you can hear the BBs rattling around.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the newer ones, but
yeah.
In the older ones you could. So that's first. Then you put the solid slug. So there's no BBs. It's just
slug.
A lead.
Yes. So if you'd already thrown the spray out into the world, and that person is standing right in front of you with ill intentions towards you and your family, take your time, put it right on them and squeeze, and you're going to be firing a giant chunk of lead right at that person. To where instead of spraying them and BBing them into severe pain, you're going to blow a hole through what you're shooting at. So you alternate the whole way through.
Yeah. So if you've got a 3-shot, so you'd go BBs, slug, BBs, and hopefully, if you're somewhat accurate, you won't be dealing with your predator anymore.
Yeah. Now, that being said, mine is set up to where it's ready to go in less than 3 seconds based on location. That's important, is to make sure that you keep it close. I do not, in any shape or form, advocate for keeping loaded handguns anywhere in your house unless they are in a safe, under lock and key. Even at that, I don't keep any of my handguns loaded in the house ever. They're too dangerous for what they are. They're too easy for somebody to get their hand on and start playing around. When you hold a shotgun, it's a different thing. People aren't just going to grab a shotgun and start squeezing away. It doesn't quite work like that. I also keep mine to where it's unchambered. Okay, so for what that means is if I pulled mine up and I squeeze it right now, nothing's going to come out, right? To where it's the second one, to where if I'm in a situation, though, to where I haven't shot yet, but I feel like I might, I have to rack it, right? Just like you see in the movies. Then it's ready to go because I don't want to keep one in the chamber because it keeps it live and makes it a dangerous weapon for anybody to
Even
grab.
if you're just, well, let's say it was just sitting there and you went to move it. Boom! You don't want that to happen.
Exactly.
Right. So I know laws. Some people might be like not thinking about this. So do we know how many states are different? Like as far as like what you're allowed to do if somebody's in your house? There's a lot of different.
There's a few things that are different. Basically, it comes down to this: if you can say, and on some level, honestly, you're going to have to prove that you or somebody else's life was actually in danger. They're going to come and they're going to take your gun. They're going to put you in handcuffs and you're going to go to jail. Unless you live out in the middle of podunk nowhere and you know the sheriff and he understands the situation and he's just like, yep, we're writing it off for self-defense.
So let's back up.
It's going to happen.
So I'm in
the process.
I'm in my bedroom.
Yep.
And I hear somebody tinkering around in my kitchen or living room, and I go out there and I hit them with the BBs and I hit them with the lead sled, and then they're down, they're done. And then I call the cops. I'm still going to jail.
You're going to jail.
Right then.
For fucking sure. You are being hauled downtown. Whether they press charges, whether they arraign you, they are taking you and your firearm fucking immediately.
Okay, good to know.
There will be no hesitation on that.
See, this is stuff you don't think about.
Right. But you can't just hide behind a corner and wait for somebody to step into the light and then fire away. You have to verbally say, hey, I'm armed. You are in my house. I need you to leave my house now. I feel like you are threatening my family. Something like that out there to where you have given a warning to somebody, hey, you got to get the fuck out of Dodge.
And if they don't cooperate, then you've already passed the threshold to where they're still coming at me.
Right.
This is elevated.
Right. To where, again, not to give away everything, but one of the things that I am adamant about, and it's partially because of a situation that we have talked about before on the show, I have a position that I will go to. I know exactly where this position is in my house to where the rest of the people in my family are safe well behind me to where they can't get to them without coming through me. And in order to get directly in front of me, they have to come through a sharp angle to where it makes it a little bit tougher. If I think I hear something downstairs, I'm on point where I need to be to where know where you're at. You don't want to just walk into the middle of your living room and stand there and swing a gun around and see what comes in front of you.
Yeah, because one, you're a hard target.
Right. Have yourself in a position to where you have yourself protected from the back and from the sides to where it's only straight in front of you that somebody can come and attack you.
All right, so for our other listeners that would never, they just can't buy a shotgun.
Okay.
But they would consider a pistol.
Yeah.
What do you have for those people?
I mean, you've seen them. I'm a 9mm fan all the way. Either a 9mm, if you want the clip, it puts out a round that will definitely have some stopping power to it. I'm also a big fan of a 38. 38 is a revolver. A revolver won't jam on you to where...
Is that the infamous 38 Special?
38 Special, 38 Snub Nose. Yep. Yeah. Exact same gun, either way. To where those are good. You have 6 shots, squeeze them off.
Plus, they got a nice small handle, fits a lot of people's hands.
Right. The only thing that's different about them, and not to start dorking out on guns a little bit, but sometimes you get a double action on those, which means that you have to pull the hammer back first and then squeeze. Other ones are a single action where you just squeeze. You need to know that when you buy the gun. That's a question that you have to make sure that you ask. If you go buy a 38 or any kind of revolver, ask if it's a single action or double action. I promise. That's another thing, too. If you're ever thinking about buying a gun, go to a gun shop and talk to these people. They are experts. They are not going to be, oh, I can't believe you don't know that. Who doesn't know the difference between a 38 Special and a 38 Snub Nose? You moron, get out of my shop. I'm not selling you a gun. No, they
idiot.
They want informed, intelligent gun owners in their communities. That's what the gun community wants, that a lot of people that are opposed to guns don't understand. I want everybody that owns a gun to know what it is, know how to use it, and be efficient with it to where they're not reckless and they're not dangerous to other people. To where go in, ask some questions, talk to them about what they think. They might give you an answer that's totally different than mine as a gun owner, a gun shop owner, from experiences they've heard from other clients and stuff like that. But do some investigation. I mean, what's funny is just like toilet paper and Purell, guns are flying off the shelves right now. They're getting harder and harder to get your hands on different models.
Yeah, I might have mentioned this on the last episode, but there's a little gun shop on the way to work, and I've never noticed this before, but he now has a sign out that says, guns and ammo available.
That's right. I mean, even that. I mean, I'll admit I've stocked up on a little bit more ammo just to make sure. I mean, you can only go through so much, but if you after you burn through some, then you kind of get that twitch. You know, you're like, I better refill. And like, well, I used 10. I better buy 20. You know,
Yeah.
So where you push it a little bit.
And I do need to do an on-air thanks for letting me shoot my guns at your property.
Oh,
other
that
day.
was one of the best things ever.
That was had a small collection of guns, and I'd never fired one of these, and Jake and I have been talking about it for years now.
Yeah.
And so I came to the I was under the idea that these guns weren't up to snub, and that I might want to get rid of some of them just because they're old. But no, they're all right.
Oh yeah, you know for sure now. You have a bunch of good guns.
Yeah, they're decent.
But it's a classic case of things that you had more or less been given.
Right.
Right. To where you didn't have a lot of knowledge on them. You know, even down there, you figured out how to load the one and how to unload another one.
Right.
To where we hadn't messed with them. You know, we weren't sure how to do it. But by the end of the day, you were how much more educated on your guns.
All the way educated.
And comfortable with them.
Right.
And not to mention, he's got one of the coolest little guns I've ever seen. I don't want to go into too much
I
detail,
don't
but
care.
it's
Let it rip.
It's a sweet little James Bond gun. I mean, does it carry 3 shells or 2?
No, it's like 5.
Oh, does it carry 5 actually?
think.
And I mean,
It's got a little tiny clip.
If I had it in the palm of my hand like this right now, you would not be able to see that it was there.
It's like a purse pistol, for
It is.
sure.
I mean, it's like a garter pistol, is what it reminds me of. Like the old from the 30s, you know, where the girl, it's so small she can keep it in her garter.
Oh.
Next thing you know, boom, boom. You know,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's a neat little gun.
It's not the smallest pistol you've ever seen, but it's pretty small.
Yeah. And even your single shot shotgun, which you were hating on a little bit because you didn't know much about it. It's a beautiful gun.
I tell you what,
fantastic. And there's people that love a single shot.
Now, I was shooting different bullets. Well, yeah, I was from the shotgun that you had me shoot to that one, and I think that the kick from those dove and quail shells was a little bit more.
The ones that you had,
that I brought
that
down.
were yours, yeah. That doesn't surprise me
because I was like, man, it wasn't like this with Jake's.
Well, the reason partially is the weight. On a single shot, you're not going to have the weight, and people like a light gun to go into the woods and hunt with. Where you don't.
Well, that was a lighter gun, was it not?
That's what I'm saying. The single shot is lighter,
Yeah.
so it will kick harder.
Oh.
The pump is a heavier gun, so
it draws down on the kick.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I would never even thought of that.
Yes.
I guess it's more mass, so it's going to absorb more of the shot.
correct, and you just don't have the weight on the stock of most single shots.
Okay, well that makes sense. I wasn't just imagining things.
Yeah. But a few other things. Make sure that all of your light bulbs and your motion sensor lights, make sure that kind of stuff is replaced and taken care of. If you've got a ring, any kind of system like that, make sure that you're checking that every couple days.
A ring? What's that?
The ring that it goes on your house that way, and it's motion sensor to where if
Oh, you mean the doorbell?
yeah, to where if somebody comes in front of your doorbell, it's like, oh, hello, what's going on? It comes right up on your phone. You have a notification, that comes up anytime that it gets activated. Any of those kind of things, just make sure that you stay up on that.
Also, if you're really getting serious in home security, yes, you could invest in something like the doorbell ring, where it has a camera. There are also, if you go onto eBay and other things, of course, do your homework. Make sure you're not buying some turd, but you can buy like a small 2 to 3 camera setup that comes with its own DVR for like a couple $100. I mean, you think about, I mean, I don't want to spend $200 on that, but if you're serious about your family's security, $200 ain't much.
Nah, it's very, very limited.
And it's gonna be peace of mind. That's one of the biggest things with home security. I know right now I feel like I'm much farther along, but I do not have any surveillance, which I have been thinking about.
Yeah.
So
it's one of the next couple things on our list that we
Yeah.
want to get done. We've been working on some other things, trying to figure out exactly which one we want to get, but I think it's going to be coming pretty soon.
I mean, it is important, especially with all these jackasses that on the day-to-day that want to steal your fucking packages off your porch.
I mean, how far out of business are those guys right now, though? Because now 80% of people or more are home all the time. Like, those guys ain't making nothing right now.
What do you mean?
The people that are stealing shit off your porch?
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the package guys. I'm like, man, they're busy as fuck.
Oh, the package guys are, but I'm talking the package thieves. Those guys
Yeah.
are living on hard times.
Yes, they're bad. Everybody's fucking home.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's get into the so anything else on home protection?
No,
you can think of.
I do have something off topic though that I would like to bring up real quick.
Yes.
This is kind of my Harper and fucking complaining for the night. I know that it's been more conversations that were just enlightening about what's going on and stuff, but motherfucker, I got a fucking email from the company that I have bought several vehicles from now.
This is bad cop, Jake.
Yeah, this is bad cop Jake, right? Where were you, motherfucker? So they send me an email.
Who did?
I don't want to throw them too far
No.
under the
Just
bus.
who is it?
It's a car company.
Company.
It's a car dealer.
Okay.
Right? That I've bought several vehicles from, right? They know me.
They should be loving you.
At least a couple people, like when I walk in, they're like, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Kiva? I'm good. How are you?" You know? I've been there enough that they know who I am when I walk in the door, right?
They better fucking know who you are if you've bought more than one fucking car there.
I get an email saying, "Hey, we've got a bunch of cars on our lot right now that due to some sales being down because the foot traffic isn't what it's supposed to be, we're working on trying to get some stuff processed through. We know that you bought a vehicle from us in the past. Here's a link to Kelly Blue Book. Check out what the Blue Book is on your vehicle. That's what we're using right now. You know, this is the metric. Obviously, it's going to have to pass an inspection. You know, like I can't just say that everything's great and it's got 2,000 miles on it and then be like, okay, deal. You know, like,
oh, they're asking you to buy your car?
Yeah, they're basically saying, look, that we need to move the new cars off the lot. You know, it's a good time for it. And
so they want you to do some research on your vehicle first.
And so me being me, I read a couple articles and want to see. And yes, car prices are down right now. It's not that hard to get a car loan right now. I mean, loan interest values are still pretty low. I thought, all right, I'm going to take a peek over the hedges.
Take a gander.
Right? So I get in and I click all the information in that has to do with our vehicle. And I get a reply back when it says, like, see what your value is. It says, based on the make and model that you have, that we feel like the range is too wide to give you an accurate estimate. We would need you to bring that in to take a look at it. Fair enough. I have no problem all the way up to that point. Okay? You sent me a Kelly Blue Book thing, so I still went on Blue Book, looked it up, took a guess at what I think it's worth, no plans to go any further than that. It didn't work out for the way that you presented it to me.
They couldn't give you a fucking number,
right?
So you were done.
Right. So I was done. I get an email that follows up.
You're getting now. It's the harassment begins.
Oh yeah, from with a name on it. So basically, they got a notification. We understand how these systems work. Somebody got a notification that they got a hit on my email. Comes through the system. Hey, we see that you own this car that you bought from us. When are you able to come in to have us take a look at it and see what we can do on a trade-in? I politely replied to the email. I said, hey, I was more being nosy, curious than anything, I understand that you got a kickback email. Please don't send me anything else right now. I'm very happy with my vehicle. So I'm not looking to trade anything in. Very polite.
And up front.
Yes, I was. And it's like,
you weren't like leading them on at this point. You said, stop.
No. And so that was the end of it. I didn't get an email back. The next morning, I get an automated text message with a guy's name on it. I said, you know what, motherfucker? And that's what I put in my text message to this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. He's sitting at a desk being an asshole someplace. I said, you know what, motherfucker? I sent a fucking email yesterday. If you want to keep sending me boilerplate shit, I will turn you in for fucking harassment, and I will blast the shit out of you on my fucking show. So you know what? I take back what I said. I am going to throw it out there. Van de Veer, fucking Kia, right?
Yes.
I went to war with these guys over $8 on the last car that I bought.
Oh yeah.
But it ended up okay in the end. Like we came to an agreement,
over
right?
$8.
Yeah, and that's fine. I can be part of a negotiation, even if it gets a little bit touch and go. You know what I mean? I've been down this road. It's not that hard. Okay. We made it work. Everybody gets along now. But I said, you're going to keep sending me boilerplate shit after you send clickbait emails to start with where I don't get an actual number for my vehicle.
That's on purpose. It's designed that way.
And I told him that. I said, and then you follow up after I replied very politely to the email, which you need to go see Pam. The lady's name was Pam, not Pan. Pam was the lady's name on the email that didn't reply back to me. I said, so you need to go talk to Pam about the email that I sent her. I said, so you need to quit sending this shit to me or take me off your call list and I'll never buy a car from you again. He fucking sends me a text back. He goes, I just got back up from the boiler room and I found all the clickbaiters and I'll make sure that we're not sending nothing your way no more. Have a great day. And it was like all caps, great. Fuck you, pal.
What?
Dude, I thought about it. I thought, you know what? I'm going to fucking screenshot this and I'm going to email this to the fucking company. I'm going to blast it on social media, tag them and everything. And then I thought, you know what? The easiest thing for me to do here is instead of fucking blowing a gasket like younger version me wants to do, I'm just fucking done. I won't fucking go back. I won't give them any more of my fucking business. So
I fucking hate the name anyway. Van de Veer.
I mean, the thing that sucks is like most people there are really nice. and like that's what pisses me off. But it's like
I just got back from the boiler room.
when a company starts treating you like a number, it's time to find a new company.
Yes, for sure.
That's me. So
I want to.
that was mine. Sorry, I know maybe that wasn't great.
No,
and
no, no.
Maybe everybody deals with so much spam these days that it's okay. To me, the first email was okay. The second email was okay. The fucking text the third time. You got to pass the fucking word around the company, brah. Leave this fucking guy alone.
Yeah. Give him a break. Okay, so I want to go over a quick story. So a lot of people are working from home now.
Yeah.
And I think some people are hypersensitive to certain things now. And maybe I've even experienced this myself. But so I was on this call. We have a product or a machine at the corp that needs some assistance.
Yeah.
So I called a third party. And it's been kind of going back for a couple of days. And I get this fella. And we're both being extremely polite.
Yeah.
But he's like the third person I've called.
Okay.
In about a week. And you know how they're supposed to update your ticket?
Yeah.
Well, working from home, I could tell he was having a hard time.
Okay.
He stated it up front, man, I'm working from home, so I don't have everything I do. And I'm like, I got it. I'm working from home too.
Right.
I understand.
Struggle's real.
I'm with you. And then he gets to the point where he's like, all right, so give me the address of because it's a remote plant that has this problem.
Okay.
And he says, so give me the address again. And I'm like, we've been already talking for like 35 minutes. And I said, it should be in there. I said, I said it just like that.
Yeah.
It should be in there because, I mean, he says, like, everything changed.
Flip
And
the
he went,
switch.
he said, "What, sir, why are you giving me a hard time?" And I was like, I got the earbud in. I'm talking to him, right? My jaw hit the floor. I'm like, yo, I said, I'm not giving you a hard time. I said, I'm just telling you, man, all I did, this is him. I told you the address wasn't in there. I'm asking for the new address. I don't know why you just came. And I'm like, it's like I was talking to him like shit for half an hour. And I'm like, yo, I said, really, dude? I said, you just need to relax. I'm not giving you a hard time. I just thought it might be in the system. Not even 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, here it is.
Motherfucker.
He never said he was sorry.
Of course not.
But I'm going to tell you what.
Does he share the same career field I do?
No, I don't know. No. But 90 minutes I was on that call with this guy.
Fuck.
An hour and a half. I never got mad. And actually at one time, I made him laugh because what happened? My wife comes over. And I this call was so long. My son's got this Nerf gun, and it shoots these little round balls. They're like little tiny golf balls, but they're Nerf.
Yeah.
So I was like throwing it up against the wall. I'm like, like a scene from a movie. I'm just so bored on this call.
Right.
I'm throwing things against the wall. Well, she goes over and grabs one of these things, and I'm sitting back down, and it like flies by my head, and then she's trying to hit me in the head with it, right? And then she misses again. And I'm laughing because if it hits me, it's not gonna hurt.
Right.
And then finally hits me in the shoulder, and I turn around and I do this, and she opens her mouth like it's a popcorn, and I threw it at her, hit her right in the eye, and she was like, ah! It didn't hurt her, but it was just funny. I started laughing, so the guy heard me laugh,
Yeah.
and he starts laughing. He goes, "This is after the fact of this. You
After
treat
him
me
yelling
like
at you.
yeah." And then by the end of it, by the hour and 20-minute marker, he's like, "You know what? This is my best home call ever." And I'm like, "You totally forgot about the part where you yelled at me,
Right? You trying to make me feel better right now?
because I've been great. This call should have been 20 minutes max."
Well, you were like a hostage negotiator. You were able to talk him down, man.
Oh, but it was so weird. It was like, I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a little bit bipolar there. But then you know what he told me?
What?
He goes, well, this is what happens when you're in a house full of 5 cats. I'm like, oh, you're the crazy cat guy.
Oh, man. I don't know if I can handle that.
I was like, well, it all makes sense. Sorry, cat people. If you
No.
hate me.
I love. Everybody loves cats. They're crazy, so you can't trust them.
Right.
But they're cool.
So that was my moment of the week.
So did you see yesterday's big moment? That Bernie's out.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's out.
Bernie is officially out. So
I just come into the homestead here and I see the Bernie bumper sticker, and now Bernie's out.
Bernie is. You didn't see it on my car.
Not your car, but so did she? Did she go get the tear tattoo? What?
She wasn't happy yesterday. And I found this to be very interesting. she is my daughter, who I'm referring to, that has the Bernie bumper sticker, and we talked about going to the Bernie rally and all that kind of stuff.
We showed you guys pissed off because the Bernie rally canceled.
So I made dinner last night, and we're all sitting around the dinner table, which is one of my favorite things about being back, is that we've had more quality dinners around the table. And she literally said, "I'm not voting for anybody." From my camp, that's a win. When you know that your other person that's going to step into his role is who you should be voting for now, if that's the side that you're on, and now you're saying you're not going to vote for anybody
because he's a douche.
Yeah. Oh man. So it's down to the Prez and Creepy Joe.
So that's it. It's been finalized.
I mean, it's not. They still have to finish going through the process, but basically, yes. Joe, in a ploy to try to gain voters, is already announced that he's going to seek a female vice president. So his running mate will be a female. And the two names at the top of the list right now that everybody are thinking are going to be Kamala Harris and Miss Klobuchar. They were the last two besides Elizabeth Warren that were standing in the actual run for presidency. They both ran. So he's going
Uncle Joe. It didn't work last time.
He's going to be picking a woman though this time to try to.
Why wouldn't he go after that loudmouth Cortez or something? They don't like each other.
Come on, man. Why? There's
I don't know any of them. I'm just saying she's the one that's kind of put herself out there.
She's not she is not
old enough.
That's right.
Really? You have to be a certain age?
Yes. What age do you have to be president? We talked about this on the show. I've mentioned this at least 3 times on the show because your 3 biggest birthdays are
35,
18, which anymore you don't get shit for being 18 other than you can vote, 21, and yes, 35.
Hey, I got one right.
Because 35 is when you can become president.
So she's not 35?
Cortez?
Yeah.
No, she's right at 30.
She gets to shut her fucking mouth.
She got a ways to go. But there's a lot of people that are upset that Bernie's out of the race. There's a lot of people that don't want to vote for fucking Creepy Joe. I mean, there's a lot of people that are Bernie supporters that feel like this is 4 years ago deja vu, and I do sympathize with them. I mean,
he's not running anymore. How old is he? 79?
He would be He would be 82 when he took office in January.
If he won,
he would be 82, the oldest sitting president that we would have ever had.
So he's not running again.
He's not. This is going to be the end. What his pundits are saying now is hey, this guy's going to be the start of a movement that's going to last time. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But now it's on. It's basically officially on.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
It's down to Donnie and Joe. I still think they should fight it out.
Why not?
UFC 253 in November. No voting from home. Put them in the cage. Last man standing wins. No. I would love if my president was chosen over a combat sport. That would be awesome.
I'd tell you what, it would go ballistic on the sales rates.
Dude, if you had a public execution before that match, you could clear the national debt. It'd be the greatest selling pay-per-view in the history of the world.
Yeah, we got the national debt figured out. That's fucking right.
Right.
Last thing.
Okay.
So you already said it once. For the UFC, you can't invite your friends over. So do you think it's okay? Because some people are starting to do this now. I heard this where, let's say we're doing it. There's 2 of us. But let's say, you had some friends, and there's going to be 6 of you total, and you're just going to do it in your driveway. It's going to be a nice 70-degree day. Is it okay to have them over? Everybody's sitting 6 feet apart. Everybody brings their own BYOB, and you're going to spend a couple hours together. Is that okay?
Yes. Yes, I think it's needed more now than ever. Look, there are precautions that are put in place for a reason, right? If you abide by those, don't get the groups too big. Everybody use your judgment. Just because you're having the tiny crew get together. If you're not feeling well, don't fucking go. But if not, yes, I am absolutely an advocate of this.
So I think, because you and I talked about it, and I was like, you can't fucking do that. You just can't. But then my wife talked about it, and she's like, some of these people are getting together. They're doing the driveway thing.
Yeah.
To where they're all sitting kind of far apart, but they all want to get together. And I'm like, well, you know what? I said that is kind of healthy. But I said, yeah, common sense must prevail. If 5 of you are in good health and just you're sitting there sipping your fancy drink, but the 6th person's over there sneezing her ass off and runny nose, I'm like, either you leave or you tell seat 6 to go home.
I mean, I feel like most people would do that, though. If somebody is close enough to you in your life right now that you're willing to have them in your home, I also feel like that person is close enough for you to be like, guess what?
No, I don't mean in the home, though. I'm talking driveway meeting.
In the home, out of the home, to me, it doesn't fucking matter. It's a group of 6 or less, of 10 or less.
The one thing that they've forgotten is, see, I like the outside thing because you don't have to touch anybody's stuff. Like, for instance, I come into Jake's house, last podcast, I didn't touch one thing other than the board.
I wiped down every handle that you could possibly touch in the house. I wiped down your chair. I wiped down the table, the railing.
I didn't on purpose.
But I made sure that if you did, that...
Right, but when I came in, you got the door for me. I walked in, I came down, set my stuff up. On the way out, I had you open the door for me. Because 2 reasons. 1, I don't want to get Jake's family's cooties if they have cooties. 2, I don't want to bring the cooties into the house if I have the cooties.
I get it.
So, being respectful and using your fucking head. Yes, I don't think it's a big deal either.
Yes.
I really, but see, here's the thing. The reason I like the outdoor thing better is
I got a 3-season room. What if I open all the sliding glass doors? Is that like half in, half out? Is that close enough?
Well, what I'm saying is, though, I don't like the having people in your house thing because then it's like they're still sitting on your furniture. They're still using your restroom. They're still touching your doorknobs. If they're out in your garage, yes, at some point they're probably going to have to take a piss. But guess what I would say? Hey, you can stay till you got to pee, then see ya. You got a good couple hours here.
Yeah.
See ya.
I don't know. To me, having a small group get together, as long as everybody's safe and careful, I mean, like, legitimately, if we were going to do something, we would have the thing of Purell wipes right there. Everybody's using them. When you walk in the door, use them on as many time basis as you need to. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think now more than ever, people need camaraderie.
They do. I'm just saying you got to be smart because, like as we talked about on the last show, I saw the one guy at work. It was right when the Corona thing busted out, and he went right from the urinal out the door. I mean, with somebody in his presence.
Yes.
There are people that just don't care still.
Yes.
I'm just saying you have to make sure everybody's on the same boat.
Yep.
And then, yes. Then I think as long as everybody's using common sense,
I agree.
it should.
I have one quick shout out I want to throw out here before the night's out.
Ah!
One quick shout out, and I don't even know if she'll even get to hear this, but through all the craziness that's going on in the world right now, my wife's best friend, her daughter, which she had her daughter the same time that my wife had our oldest, right? Like literally within 1 week of each other. Her daughter is now 18. She is married, and her husband is deployed in Afghanistan.
Oh boy!
So she went into the hospital early in the week, wasn't feeling well. Mom hops in the car with Dad, goes down. Dad's not even allowed at the hospital because it's only one person that's allowed there.
Oh.
And I just want to say congratulations. I won't say the baby's name because I'm not sure where you're at on that yet.
Oh, you didn't say she was...
She was pregnant, and she had her baby yesterday.
Oh, you just said she wasn't feeling well.
Right. Is today 4/8 or 4/9? Today's 4/8, right? I'm getting my days.
4/9.
Today's 4/9, so it would have been 2 days ago. So she had it on 4/7. Their baby's beautiful. So congratulations to Madison and John on being new parents for the first time, and congratulations to our friends Kim and Jason on being first-time grandparents. So
Right.
40 years old, and they're both grandparents.
So that's cool. So, but the father of the child is still overseas.
He won't get to see their baby until like May 15th by the time he gets back, and then done with his quarantine once he gets home.
So he's going to come back and be in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's going to be a knife through the heart until he can see his kid.
Yeah. But modern technology's helping. Like, we've all got to see videos and pictures, and he has, he's been FaceTimed in a whole lot to where,
good.
Without being there, he's at least getting to be a little bit of a part of it. So
yeah, he gets to see the faces and everything. Good.
Yeah,
good.
but we're excited for him. So I just wanted to say congratulations.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Congratulations.
All right.
On that note,
don't kill each other. Stay strong. Mental health as always. 1-800-622-HELP if you're having any issues about thinking about hurting yourself or somebody else right now through all the craziness. Make the phone call. Talk to somebody. Get the help. Just want to put it out there.
it's a very serious time. I mean, normally it's a serious time anyways if you have thoughts of hurting yourself or somebody else. But, of course, in this time, take it much, much more serious.
That's right.
Because it is and can get a little bit more crazy. And don't hurt anybody.
That's right.
Don't hurt yourself.
Stay safe. Take care of each other. Maybe learn something new. Pip, pip.
Cheerio.